She thought the hardest part was losing him, but it wasn't. The hardest part was finding herself again in the wreckage of someone else's choices, because the way he treated her, the decisions he made, they weren't about her. Even though he made her feel like that, like it was her fault, her flaws, and her lack. But now, she knows the truth. He projected his brokenness onto her, and she carried it like it was hers to fix, but it never was. She made herself small, so his ego could feel big. She dimmed her light, so his shadow wouldn't feel so dark. But not anymore. She no longer wants him back. And even if she could have him back, she wouldn't and she won't. Because in those 11 years, she watered her life with a worthless, self-centered, uneducated, weak man. A man who was too broken to see the beauty she offered. And that's the truth. She now knows deep in her bones. He's married now. And the pain he caused, it can't be undone. He made that choice less than 10 months after walking away. Whether that union was planned, manipulated, or something harder to name, one truth remains: he is no longer hers. And truthfully, he never really was. She finally sees he was never aligned with God's will for her. Not in heart, not in spirit, not in purpose. Because the love she carries, the kind of partnership she longs for, it demands alignment with heaven, not just emotion but intention, not just passion but purpose. And he wasn't ready. He wasn't willing, and he couldn't lead with integrity, not for love like hers. She prayed for a partner to journey with, not just to survive beside. Someone to build with, not someone who could break her. She gave him everything, especially time. Time that mattered. Time she can never get back. Time that was sacred. Because she's dreamed of motherhood her whole life, and he knew that. But in the end, it wasn't the years that were lost. It was the future she envisioned. The family, the home, the life she prayed for. All delayed by his ego, his demons, his indecision. Now she sees it clearly. He withheld the life she deserved, longer than she should have ever allowed. So now, she chooses love in its truest form, through faith, through family, through community, and most of all, through herself. She walks forward, not as a woman broken, but as a woman reborn. Her desires, marriage, children, connection, they still live in her, but they are no longer tied to him. They are hers. If you ask her what she's learned, she'd say she learned that not everyone who smiles can be trusted, that ego can wear the mask of love, that silence can hide betrayal. But she also learned her own power, her capacity for love, her deep, deep worth. She learned that communication is sacred, that two truths can coexist, that boundaries are not walls, but wisdom, and that you cannot fight for love when the one you're fighting for chose to dance with the deceiver, the one who delights in division, who calls separation strength, and cloaks destruction in the illusion of freedom. He played with fire, not knowing it was Satan's breath that fed the flame, and still, he followed. A partner must be present not in body, but in heart, in soul, in effort. And no, she's not perfect. She never claimed to be. But what she does know is that she gave her all. Her heart, her faith, her truth. She was transparent, vulnerable, loyal. She never tried to be anyone else. And that is enough. She accepts every version of herself. The woman she was, the woman she had to be, the woman she is now, and the one she's still becoming. She no longer strives for someone else's idea of perfection, because she now knows perfection isn't the goal, peace is. Words that once pierced her and now empower her. I'm grieving not just what was, but all the tomorrows I imagined. The magic between us was real, but magic can't heal what you refuse to face. I saw love in your eyes, but you were too afraid to look in the mirror. Your demons didn't win because they were stronger. They won because you chose them. And wherever you go, you take that choice with you. That truth anchored her. And so, she will never regret choosing her family and her future when he wasn't even man enough to choose her. They say God speaks in quiet cues. It may be through other people or some circumstances. And because He gave us the gift of free will, He allows things to happen. But remember, permission is not the same as approval. She thought she was waiting for a husband. But God was preparing a mother, a woman worthy of legacy, of protection, of divine timing. She didn't just lose time, she was being refined. Because what God has planted in her will bloom in season. He was the lesson, she is the legacy. And now, she no longer waits to be chosen. She walks as the woman who was covered, who was called, who was becoming all along.